organization to help each other integrate back into society. And then they were there when the Second World War amputee veterans returned and weren't sure how to integrate back into society, and then had the First World War amputee veterans there. Later on, they started the War Amps Champ program for child amputees, which I am a part of. I was born missing my right arm just below the elbow, and I currently wear an artificial limb called a passive arm. The outside is made with silicone, so I'm able to hold things really easily. And it's also really great to have it for balance as well. I use it to, wash dishes and clean, and just for everyday activities.
So, my name is Alexis. I am also a amputee. I was born a partial left-hand amputee, so I have my thumb and my palm, but the fingers on my left hand stopped growing. Unlike Jamie, I don't wear an everyday artificial limb, but I need help doing certain things like working out at the gym, holding my hair dryer, carrying my groceries. So this is the device that I use. It's a recreational device, and it's something that the War Amps has provided for me.
So the cost for an artificial limb can be quite a lot of money. This one that I'm holding right here is $11,000. So without the help of the War Amps, there would be no way that I'd be able to live a healthy and active life with both of my arms, because my family wouldn't have been able to afford it growing up. What I'm going to do is actually pass this around so you can take a look at it. It's really neat. It has all of the lifelines and the nails as well, and you can feel that it is made with silicone. Please treat it with respect. It is an extension of myself. I want to ask you as well that if you're not currently holding the arm, that you're paying attention up front to Alexis and myself. Thank you so much. All right, so as you may have seen, Alexis and I have a very special connection to war amputee veterans. Does anyone here want to share what a veteran is? Yes?
A retired soldier.
Great, good. Excellent. So that's correct. It is someone who has served in the military, and we have a lot we need to thank a veteran all the time, but right now it's coming up to Remembrance Day. What happens on Remembrance Day? Yes, at the back?
We normally pray for all of the veterans that died in the World War.
Great, right. So we try to remember all of those who have served. Not just who passed away, but those who are currently alive and have served in the Canadian military. We want to take some time during Remembrance Day to make sure that we thank them and make sure that we are remembering the sacrifices that they have made. Sometimes it's really difficult to understand as youth about the amount of sacrifices that men and women have made, but we also know that others have served alongside humans during the war as well.
Did you guys know that animals also had a role during the war? Here, mixed answers. Does anyone maybe want to take a guess at a type of animal? Dog is a really good one. So, dogs, they have really good noses, so they were able to sniff out and detect different landmines, but they were also just really good company to the soldiers. A lot of these men were away from home, away from their families for long periods of time, sometimes a number of years, so it was really good for them to have something to comfort them and to keep them company. There's a really special dog. He's a Canadian dog, and his name is Gander, and he actually saved a bunch of soldiers when a grenade was thrown near them. And unfortunately, he passed away when he took the grenade and ran away with it, but he was awarded a medal for saving all of those soldiers, and that's the Deacon Medal, which is known as the Animals Victoria Cross Medal, and it's awarded to those animals who have shown bravery and made the ultimate sacrifice.
Great. So what's another animal that you think served during the war? Yes?
A horse.
Great. So horses served as well during the war. They were able to carry heavy things in and out, and they were also able to be used to carry the wounded out of battle as well.
They're also very fast, and they're just good manners.
Good. Yeah, and they're easy to train as well. That's what we found during the war as well.
Any other animal? Yes?
Pigeons.
Good job.
Do you know how?
Messenger pigeons.
Good.
So, pigeons would often have messages tied to their legs, And there's a really special pigeon named Beachcomber who actually delivered the very first message across enemy lines on D-Day. But we also have a mascot at the War Amps, and this is Percy the Passing On the Message Pigeon. And he also has an artificial limb, and he served during the war as well.
All right, any other animals that you can think of? Yes, right there.
Like in Asia, they use elephants.
That's right. So elephants were used to carry, again, the same as horses were used to carry large equipment in and out of battle, but they were also used to help build roads and bridges. So they were able to carry those big logs with them so that we were able to build roads and bridges very easily and quickly.
What about another maybe household animal that you might have as a pet?
Cat.
Cats, do you know how?
No, but I was actually gonna say peregrine falcons, because I think I heard this from my dad. When they were sending pigeons, they would actually send out peregrine falcons to kill the pigeon.
That's
From
true.
the opposing,
Yeah.
So you said cats too. That's a really great answer. Cats were often taken on ships because they had mice and rat problems, and the mice and rats would get into the food and eat their food. So the cats were used to catch those mice and rats. And I have maybe one more really weird one. Do you know how glowworms might have been used? Yes. Exactly. So what they used to do is they used to gather them up in jars, and they used to be able to use them as light to look over different maps and different strategies that they were planning to use.
Okay. So November 3rd just passed a little while ago, but last year the city of Ottawa had named November 3rd Animals in War Day. And there was a new monument downtown in Confederation Park unveiled for the animals who served during the war. If you ever have a chance to go see it, it is a really great monument to visit, and it also tells a little bit more stories about some animals in war and the sacrifice that they have made. So as I was saying before, sometimes it is a little bit hard to understand some of the sacrifices that men and women have made during wartime, but to know the sacrifices that animals have made as well helps us to understand even some of the sacrifices that men and women have made. So how do you guys participate in Remembrance Day? Yes, at the back of the blue?
We wear poppy.
Yep. Is there any other way how we participate in Remembrance Day? Yes?
We can visit a cemetery.
Great, great. Any other ways? Yes? Excellent. Good job. So there are many different ways that you can participate in Remembrance Day, including all of the things that were mentioned. Alexis and I are very privileged to be able to participate in many different remembrance ceremonies throughout the year. But Remembrance Day is a really great opportunity for Canadians to connect with our veterans and to connect with our military history, and a great opportunity for us to thank those who have served by doing all of the things that you had mentioned. It is also a really great way to participate in candlelight ceremonies. Often Canadian youth participate in candlelight ceremonies across the country, and it represents the passing of the torch of remembrance from the veteran to the youth.
Ottawa actually had theirs last night. It's a really nice ceremony that we were able to participate in, but they bring in different youth groups, different schools. If you guys wanted to participate, I'm sure you would be able to next year. And it's a really great opportunity to thank a veteran and really take up that torch of remembrance.
What we're going to do now is we're going to actually just have a couple of volunteers. For the other classes, we've been doing the entire class, but you guys are quite large, and I don't think we're going to have all of that chaos again. Okay. 10. Yes, number 1, number 2, number 3. Yep. Number 4 in the black back there. Yep, you got it. Yep. Number 5 in the green. Number 6 in the blue. 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the black back there. Oh, sure, I got 11. That's okay. I have 11, but that's okay. Yep. All right, so what we're going to show you, everyone is still paying attention to me other than the volunteers that we've called up. So what we're going to show you to do is participate in a candlelight ceremony. So in a couple of days, on Monday, it is going to be Remembrance Day. Something that wasn't mentioned, that during Remembrance Day, we have a moment of silence. Does everyone remember that? Yeah? And how long do you guys know how long that usually is? It's regularly supposed to be, how long? Yes?
A minute.
2 minutes. So it's regularly supposed to be 2 minutes of silence, but a lot of places have it just 1 minute or even just 30 seconds. So during that minute, those 2 minutes of silence or that minute of silence or that moment of silence that you have, what are you supposed to be thinking of? Does anyone want to share? Blue? Yes? Yes, that's you. Yep. Wonderful. Good. Does anyone have anything else that they wanted to share? What do you think of during your moment of silence? Yes? Good, good. So, another great thing as well, we had just told you some stories about the sacrifices that animals have made. So, thinking of those sacrifices, and also thinking of the sacrifices that men and women have made in wartime as well, is something that we can all think about during our moment of silence. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how a candlelight ceremony would work, and how that moment of silence can be reflected in your November 11th Remembrance Day moment of silence. All right, come on up. Alexis, do you want to teach them how to do this? Sure.
So, I'll go first. But what you want to do is you want to walk up to our beautiful cenotaph. We're going to pretend that it's the National War Memorial in Ottawa. So you would walk up, place your candle, step back and take a moment of silence and think about what Jamie said, think about the sacrifices of those soldiers, and then turn around and walk back, okay? Pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. You're the first.
What are you thinking about? Good job.
Good, good. Thank you. So when you take your moment at a candlelight ceremony, usually it's only about 15 to 20 seconds, but for regular moments of silence for the day of, it is closer to a minute or 2 minutes. Good job. So what are you thinking of during this time? Great job. Good job. Thank you so much. Excellent. Come on up. Just like that. Good job. So what are you thinking about right now?
All the animals and people that helped us.
Good. Good job. Thank you.
So sometimes the youth will actually do this on their own, but other times a veteran will also be present at the ceremony, and they would hand you the candle, symbolizing you taking up the torch. But when they're not available, the youth can still participate, similarly to like they're doing right now.
Good job. Thank you. So what are you thinking about right now?
Not only all the veterans, but everyone who's like didn't have
Good. Thank you so much. Good. Thank you so much. And the last one. Good job, guys. Excellent. Let's give them all a round of applause.
So you guys think you can do something like this in the future? It's pretty easy, right?
All right, so Remembrance Day is coming up soon. I hope all of you now know how to commemorate and how to preserve our military history by thinking of those who served and by thinking of those animals who also served alongside those men and women during that moment of silence. So during that time, you'll all take a silent bow and hopefully think about those things. But I think this concludes our presentation today. We will be giving your teachers groups of magnetic rulers and also bookmarks to be handed to you. If you have not yet seen my arm, just stay where you're seated, and it's getting to you very quickly, it seems. All right? So thank you very much. Yeah, that's not
So I was just wondering how I had to come on.